The hockey team has a strong performance on the road.
And the women's soccer team continues their hot streak.
A new episode of All Access starts right now. Welcome to All Access, the show that knocks your socks off on a weekly basis. I'm Rebecca Solzback.
And I'm Derek Hill. After watching our show last week, the women's volleyball team had to put their socks back on for a big tournament week. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. The women's volleyball team hosted Frostburg State University last Friday. The Profs would take the first set 25-23 to take the lead early. They would follow that up with a loss in the second set 25-23. The third set was hard fought, but the Profs would lose the set 25-23. Behind 2-1, the Profs weren't able to climb back against a strong fourth set by Frostburg State. Kaylee Gallagher led the Profs with 12 kills, but it wasn't enough to push the team to victory.
On Saturday, Rowan women's volleyball lost both matches on the final day of the Rowan Quad. The first match was against Eastern University. The Profs dropped all 3 sets in match 1. The first set ended with a score of 25-14. The Profs fell behind in the opening stanza, starting 9-1. They later trailed 17-9, but could not take the lead. The second set ended with a score of 25-19. The Profs scored the first 2 points, but Eastern quickly took a 9-6 lead. Rowan then tied the set 9-9, but could not pull ahead. The final set ended with a score of 25-15, and in the final set, outside hitter Erin Keegan claimed her 1,000th career dig in the third set. Following match 1, Rowan prepared to take on the University of Scranton in their second match of the day.
Like the match against Eastern, Rowan also fell in the match 2 against University of Scranton. The Profs dropped 3 straight sets. The first set in match 2 ended close with a score of 25-22. The Royals held a 23-16 lead as Rowan fought to come back but could not. In the second set, Rowan quickly took a 6-3 lead but started to struggle. The Profs fell behind and lost the set with a score of 25-10. The final stanza, Rowan fought but could not get ahead. And the final set ended with Rowan loss 25-17. Following the Rowan Quad, the Profs prepared to travel to Rutgers-Camden on Tuesday, October 9th for a 7 o'clock match.
Rowan University traveled to Rutgers-Camden on Tuesday and won, despite the previous losses at the Rowan Quad. The two teams played 5 sets, Rowan winning 3 of the sets and Rutgers-Camden winning 2. In the first set, Rowan fought but could not pull through and lost 25-19. In the second set, the Profs were able to keep their lead and end with a score of 25-20. In the third set, it was close with an end score of 26-24. Rowan started with a 7-1 advantage, but fell and lost the match. In the fourth set, the Profs took a 9-4 lead and kept it going, winning the set 25-19. With each team winning 2 sets, this called for a 5th and final set. Rowan took an 8-5 advantage and kept it, later moving the score to 14-8. Outside hitter Natalie Ogden had the final kill, which resulted in a Rowan win 15-10. This moved the Profs to a record of 14-11 and moved Rutgers to a record of 6-12. Rowan will get ready to travel to the Hudson Valley Quad match on Friday, October 12th.
Now for more on the current climate in the professional sports world. Here is Kayla Santiago with this week's Pro Talk.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Pro Talk. I am your host, Kayla Santiago, keeping you up to date with all the news happening in pro sports. Let's get started. What is going on with the Philadelphia Eagles? The Eagles lost on Sunday to the Vikings 23-21, now making them 2-3. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for the Eagles, starting running back Jay Ajayi is out for the season with a torn ACL injury. The Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle Fletcher Cox's salary was cut down to make room for cap space. Will Howie Roseman make a move to try and get Le'Veon Bell or LaShawn McCoy? I guess we will have to wait and see. The Philadelphia Eagles face off the New York Giants at the Meadowlands on Thursday night. Hopefully the Eagles can get it together and come out with a victory against a division rival. The New Orleans Saints starting quarterback Drew Brees became the NFL's all-time passing leader, breaking Peyton Manning's record of 71,940 career passing yards, with a 62-yard touchdown pass to rookie Traquan Smith during the second quarter of Monday night's game against the Washington Redskins. The Los Angeles Rams and Kansas City Chiefs remain the only teams in football with an undefeated record at 5-0. Rams wide receivers Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp left the game Week 5 against the Seattle Seahawks to be evaluated for concussion. Both suffered concussions, but Rams head coach Sean McVay is hopeful that both receivers will return on Sunday when the Rams take on the Denver Broncos. Moving on to baseball. The division playoff series is over as the Milwaukee Brewers, Los Angeles Dodgers, Houston Astros, and Boston Red Sox advance to the League Championship Series. The Milwaukee Brewers beat the Colorado Rockies 3-0. The Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Atlanta Braves 3-1. The Houston Astros beat the Cleveland Indians 3-0. And the Boston Red Sox beat the New York Yankees 3-1. Red Sox Brock Holt becomes the first player to hit a cycle in the postseason. Brock Holt hit for the cycle in Game 3 of the 2018 American League Divisional Series against the New York Yankees. The Dodgers and Brewers face off Game 1 of the National League Championship Series on Friday at 8:09 p.m. The Red Sox and Astros play Game 1 of the American League Championship Series on Saturday at 8:09 p.m. The first week of hockey is underway as the Philadelphia Flyers hold a 2-2 record. The Flyers came out opening night with a win against the Golden Knights 5-2. The Flyers then went off to play 2 more games that both ended up as brutal losses. The Flyers came back after losing 2 straight and won last night's game against the Senators with a 7-4 victory. Cal Picard made his Flyers debut Wednesday night against the Senators. The goalie made 31 saves and stopped 20 of 21 shots at even strength. The Flyers take on the Knights on Saturday at 1 p.m. Let's see if the Flyers can pull out another win against the Golden Knights. The regular season of basketball is approaching, and on Tuesday night, the Philadelphia Sixers face the Boston Celtics for a rematch of the Eastern Conference semifinal last season. The Sixers fell short with a heartbreaking loss to the Celtics in Game 5, with the Celtics winning 114-112. The Sixers have put a lot of work in this all season, so it will be interesting to see the outcome of this game on Tuesday night. It's going to be a good game to say the least. Villanova men's college basketball coach Jay Wright is named 2019-2020 USA Men's National Team assistant coach, along with Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr and the Indiana Pacers head coach Nate McMillan. 2019 will mark Kerr's first year as a coach with the USA basketball team. Both Wright and McMillan have USA basketball experience. In addition, 17th season at Villanova, Wright has been active in international hoops since 2000. Wright led the United States to a gold medal at the 2005 World University Games in Turkey. McMillan has won a gold medal as an assistant coach in the USA team in 2008 and 2012. That's all I have for you on this week's Pro Talk. Stay tuned after the break for this week's Rowan Roundtable.
Welcome back to All Access. It's time for our Rowan Roundtable. Joining me today are Kayla Santiago and Rebecca Sulzbach. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, to start off, we talked last week about the playoff picture. Now the championship round is set for baseball. Who do you guys think makes it to the World Series and why?
I definitely think the Red Sox. I mean, Brock Holt just had his amazing record, but personally, I'm a Phillies fan. I want Chase Utley to get back there with the Dodgers, so I would love to see Utley win it. But realistically, I do think the Red Sox are going to take it all.
So you're looking at a Red Sox-Dodgers World Series?
Yeah, definitely. If the Dodgers win, I'll be so happy for Utley, though. It would be awesome to see him leave on that note. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Red Sox taking it all. I'll agree with that. I'd like to see Utley win, too. I think, he's a great guy. He's good for the Phillies, so he's just as good for the Dodgers. I think he's a good guy. I think he deserves the win. But I think, realistically speaking, that the Red Sox will have it all.
Yeah, I agree with the Red Sox winning. They seem to be on that hot streak.
Yeah,
unfortunately, they defeated my Yankees.
They got hot at the right time.
But the way I look at it, if you're not going to win the series, I was happy they lost that night the other day.
Yeah.
But I really like the Brewers over the Dodgers, honestly. They're on that hot streak. They haven't won since the 80s, so I think they have the edge to be able to face the Red Sox in the World Series at the least.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited.
So continuing with baseball. Some slight controversy this week during that Yankees-Red Sox game with Luis Severino. He claims he forgot what the start time of the game was, and he started warming up only 10 minutes before. What do you guys think of that controversy?
I personally think you need way more than 10 minutes. You're pitching the whole game. You definitely need BP to at least throw some balls because your arm is not warmed up ready like that for a whole game. And obviously it kind of showed, so.
I mean, he's a pro. He knows what he has to do. I don't think 10 minutes is enough time, but I think it's not his first time pitching, so I think the 10 minutes is enough to like get yourself together really quickly and like hopefully do as much as you can to get on the field. But 10 minutes isn't a good time, but I don't think it's. I mean, it's better than 0 minutes. Better than getting called to the game right there and having to play. So I think it's a bad time, but a decent amount of time. Yeah.
I agree with you on the point that he is a pro, but I will say that as a pro, he probably should have realized what the start time of his playoff game was, and probably gone through his usual "it's my starting day" ritual.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way, as a baseball player, I used to play baseball myself, you get into kind of like a mojo where you have to do certain things before a game if you want to play to the level you want to be at.
Yeah, he probably didn't play to his best level, but I mean, he got the time. He did what he had to do in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
play.
I still don't think 10 minutes is enough, but that's all the baseball stories this week. Now moving on to football, the Saints on Monday Night Football, they rebounded with a 43-19 win over the Redskins.
Great game.
Is this them kind of moving back into that top team in the league status?
I think the Saints are always, I think they're always a great team. I think the Saints are always on top. I think they're always one of those teams like the Packers, like the Vikings are always good. No matter if they start bad or if they start good, they always end well. I think they'll go up to the top, and I think they'll do good. I had them winning last year, winning the whole thing. Yeah. So I think they'll do good this year. I think that's definitely a rebound for them. After he got that, his passing yards, I think that's put him on top. I think that he is really excited to finish the season. I think he wants to finish it on a high.
Right. Obviously, their offense is stronger than their defense. I mean, that's visibly obvious, but I do think you got the star quarterback who's amazing, who works really well with the team, and I think everything's just clicking right now at the right moment. I think Breeze is definitely going to lead this team at least to the playoffs and hopefully further than that. So. Yeah,
I think the big thing is right now is that they only have the one loss, and the other games they did win, they kind of didn't look great, which is why I don't think anyone's really talking about them. So it looks like their defense is starting to get back on track, and it was under the Monday Night Lights, and Breeze passing my favorite player ever, Manning, for the passing record.
Yeah.
So I think they're on the right track. And continuing with football, this upcoming week is big AFC matchup, Chiefs-Patriots. We get to kind of see who's the better team right now, possibly. What team are you guys leaning for winning this game in the end?
I don't like the Patriots, but I have the Pats winning. I think that the Chiefs, they usually do well and they choke, and I think this is going to be their week when they choke. I think they're, 5-0 or
5-0,
5-0, and I think they'll choke this week. They've choked to 5-0 before.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, especially because it's at New England this week.
I think the Patriots are ready. They're like, all right, we're annoyed
Tom
that
Brady
we're not
always
winning.
finds a way to win somehow, even if they're doing bad. So, I mean, if the Chiefs do win this week, it'll show that maybe they're not a team that's going to choke this season.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then it's kind of what happened last season and previous seasons.
I think if the Chiefs win, then you're like, oh, okay,
this is the real deal.
It is the real deal this year. But I think if the Patriots win, the Chiefs are probably done. The Patriots are back in business.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom Brady's back.
Things definitely look like they're clicking the last 2 weeks for the Patriots. So I think at home, they're definitely the team to, I think, upset the undefeated Chiefs.
It's going to be a good team for the Chiefs to play, to really test them out and actually see they're doing very well. And if you lose the Patriots, it's not a bad loss.
Right.
Yeah. It's a hard team to lose.
And even if the Chiefs do lose, if it's a close game, that's still a win.
They'll be proud
of.
Because going into New England, no matter how good that team is really hard to accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. Just the atmosphere of New England and Tom Brady. I hope it's a close game, to be honest.
I do too.
I hope it's not a blowout, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think they'll both put up a good fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, finally now, moving on to the NBA. Jimmy Butler, he's been in the news a lot this week. He's been kind of complaining about his team. He wants a trade, and he skipped practice today. What do you guys think of the Jimmy Butler talk? Is he in the right to talk against his team like this?
I mean, if he wants to be traded and he's not happy, yes, but how he's saying it, he shouldn't be saying it like that. It's also so weird. You see things pop up. The Timberwolves Jimmy Butler wants out, but the Timberwolves don't want to trade him. So I think they want to keep him for his talent, but he obviously wants something more. He's just not portraying it that well and speaking out about it as well as he should, I think. I mean, I think he should get off the Timberwolves just because obviously the connections there is not there anymore. So that's my opinion. But
yeah, I think don't take the anger out on your team. The anger that you have for where you're at, I don't think it's fair to take it on the team necessarily.
Make things worse.
Even your opinion, but still, it's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think skipping practice is right at all. I think that's totally in the wrong, and I think any coach or any team should see that someone's not committed enough.
It's going to make him look bad for every other team.
Know how bad he looks doing that. It shows that he's not committed, and even if he wants to continue playing, like that for them or for anyone else, that shows any other team that he's not committed. That a little bit of anger can have him skip practice. Like it's just not good. It doesn't look good on him.
Yeah, I think despite him being the good player and one of the top guys on the team, it's really something that you probably shouldn't do. You should probably go out there and still respect the organization you're playing for as a player. But that's all the time we have for this Rowan Roundtable. I'd like to thank Kayla and Rebecca for joining us. We'll be right back after the break.
It's time to check in on some recent soccer action. Derek?
Thanks, Rebecca. On Saturday, the men's soccer team traveled to New Jersey City University. The Profs rolled over New Jersey City with a score of 6-0. It was a back-and-forth contest early on in the opening half until forward Ryan Campbell scored in the 17th minute, giving the Profs a 1-0 advantage. Campbell doubled up in the 38th minute when he put one in with assists from back Nick Schlater and midfielder Kevin Pereira to take a 2-0 lead. The score remained the same until the 76th minute when Rowan registered 4 goals over a span of just over 10 minutes. Forward Shane Doherty notched the first goal on the run in the 76th minute, followed by back Jackson Wakioma, the 84th minute. 33 seconds later, Doherty scored his second goal of the day when he poked a loose ball in front of the net, assisted by Jackson Wakioma. The final goal was recorded by back Will Sajad off a free kick to set the final score at 6-0. Following this game, Rowan's men's soccer team travels to Rutgers Newark on Saturday, October 13th, with the game to start at 7:30 p.m.
On Saturday, the women's soccer team hosted New Jersey City University at home. The Profs defeated New Jersey City with a score of 9-0. 7 different players contributed to the scoring for Rowan. Forward Catherine McCary and forward midfielder Jessica Beck each contributed with 2 goals. Forwards Aiden Sheehan, Daria Jones, and Lauren Wood, and midfielders Jessica Logan and Dominique Marone all hit the net 1 time. Midfielder Dara Wagner and Grace Massel had 1 assist apiece. Goalkeeper Shelby Money stopped 3 shots for her 5th shutout, and it was the Profs' 8th overall. Following this game, Rowan travels to Rutgers Camden on Wednesday, October 10th for a 7 p.m. game.
The women's soccer team traveled to Rutgers Camden on Wednesday in what turned out to be a nail-biting matchup. Rowan would dominate the game with 23 shots on goal, but were unable to sink any in the back of the net. Natalie Eberhardt came away with 12 saves for the Raptors, having a great game in front of the net. Shelby Money, on the other end, would have 3 saves herself with far fewer shots on goal. The game ended in the Profs' second tie of the season, making their current record 9-1-2. The team will host Rutgers Newark on Saturday.
After the break, Ayala sits down with the members of the women's soccer team tonight in this week's Prof Spotlight, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to All Access. Time for this week's Prof Spotlight. Joining me are Derek Wagner and Allie Hicks from the women's soccer team. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so tell me about the team and what do they mean to you?
Well, the team this year, we're pretty young because we had a lot of seniors graduate last year, but what it means to us is, to me, everything.
Right, as a senior for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And you too.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have a big senior year, and I think that the freshmen coming in, they only added more positivity to the team, so hopefully they'll keep it up.
Right. So, Rowan's women's soccer was away against Rutgers Camden, resulting in a scoreless draw. Tell me about your reaction to this game and the results.
Well, the result was 0-0. Obviously, we never strive for that.
Right.
It's frustrating because we like to have our best game every game, and when we can't produce that, it's frustrating for all of us. But we never stopped trying. And
Right. It was a pretty aggressive game with 23 attempted shots by Rowan.
it was.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating part because we had the shots on goal, but
Right.
we just couldn't find the back of the net, which happens once in a while. But the most important thing that we just come back, and our coach always says the most important thing is to bounce back from a hard loss. That's what we're planning on doing.
Yep, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I mean, playing off of Allie, like the good thing is though, like we did dominate the game, which is good to know, and it's good to know that really the only thing we need to do is just finish, and I think we can work on that. And once we get that down, I think we can beat any team.
Right. So the last time this occurred, it happened earlier in the season with Keene University, but also Shelby Money, she broke a school record.
She did.
Yeah, so was there any similarities between that game and how you played, or just how the team felt?
I think another part is we had a hard time finding the back of the net, finishing opportunities. Our coach was saying how we're not good at reacting, we're good at being proactive.
Right.
So when teams sit back on us, it's hard for us to, lay back as well. We, we thrive off of movement and, attacking.
Yeah. So you're able to play off energy, and if it's a
Right.
really intense game, you're getting these goals.
Yeah,
you're making
attacking
these
versus
shots.
attacking, not defensive and attacking.
Right. I get it. Okay, so any reactions to the team moving up to 5th in the South Atlantic Region polls this past Thursday?
You always want to move up. I mean, it's definitely better to go up than go down. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, we just want to keep playing off of that and keep moving up as far as we can, and hopefully host a game or two in the NJAC tournament. So
Yeah, that's our goal.
All right. So as two upperclassmen who either started in almost every game or played a majority of them, what were some improvements you noticed from you playing freshman year and to now?
Well, personally, it's probably confidence, because confidence comes with experience, and of course, from freshman to senior year, you're playing with a whole other group of girls, so you have to learn to adapt. And I think that came with every year adapting to a new team and changing positions.
I'd say my fitness. I mean, that's pretty obvious. My freshman year, I was lucky enough to have a good senior, Lisa. Like, she played majority of the time, but this year, I can run a lot more and stay in the game a lot longer. So that's good.
She's really fit.
Yeah, see?
She is so fit.
Well, that's conditioning. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, as two seniors, what would be an ideal end to the season?
NJAC championship and then the national championship.
Keep going.
Trying to
We don't
sweep
want to
them.
stop.
Right.
Yeah. We want to end it like how we started it.
Right. Hey, that sounds like a
Yeah.
plan. Any highlights from this current season that you experienced or your previous seasons?
Back-to-back NJACs
Yeah.
was a big thing.
Right.
We didn't know what losing was. Freshman and sophomore year.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Then our junior year was the first year we didn't win the NJACs.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this year, that's what we're trying to get back to. Want to end it on a good
In the
note.
Sweet 16.
Yes.
That was
Ooh,
big.
I know that was
Yeah.
nice.
It's the best feeling to go far.
Mm-hmm. So on this Saturday, the Profs are facing Rutgers Newark. That'll be your senior day.
Yes.
What can we expect from that game?
Well,
A lot of goals, hopefully.
yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that we bounce back from our tie from Camden, and we can, all those missed opportunities, take it to Newark.
Yeah.
Rack up the
Give it to
goals.
'em.
Yeah. Well, I remember last year you guys beat them. I think it was like 4-1. So
Yep.
yeah, hopefully we expect that same energy.
Same.
All right. That is all the time we have. I'd like to thank Derek and Allie for coming. Derek and Rebecca, back to you at the desk.
Welcome back to All Access. Time to skate right into our final stories of the day. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. The men's hockey team traveled to Kutztown on Friday night to take on the Bears. The game turned out to be a penalty-filled contest, but it was the Profs who would reign with an 8-2 victory. The Profs would trail 1-0 early, but would pick up the pace easily with 2 straight goals at the end of the first period. The team would continue scoring from there, taking a 4-2 lead and doubling their lead before the end of the game. This is a good start to their road trip weekend, claiming the victory before traveling to Stevenson University.
The men's hockey team traveled to Stevenson University on Sunday. The Profs would jump to an early 4-0 lead at the end of the first period. In the second period, Stevenson would get on the board with 2 goals, but the Profs would match it, still holding a 4-goal lead heading into the final period. After 3 more goals from the Profs, the team would take a 9-2 victory on the road. The offensive onslaught helps them continue their strong start early in the season.
On Saturday, the field hockey team played Keene University away. The Profs defeated Keene University with a score of 9-1. Forward Bridget Gunnan led the way with 3 goals, while forward Rachel Galante and midfielder Christina Castagnola each contributed with 2. Midfielder Molly Gorsitska and forward Jenny Panzarino both chipped in with 1 goal. Rowan outshot Keene 23-11. Goalie Morgan Novak totaled 7 saves for the Profs. The Profs remain undefeated with a 12-0 record, and they are 3-0 in the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Next, Rowan hosts Arcadia University on Wednesday, October 10th at 7 p.m.
The field hockey team hosted Arcadia University on Wednesday. Christina Hovell led the Profs with 2 goals, both scores coming in the first half of play. Rachel Gallant and Bridget Gunnan both contributed a goal and assist each for the Profs. Arcadia would only be able to put up 1 goal in the first half, trailing 3-1. That goal would end up being their only score as the Profs would take the 5-1 victory. The win is their 13th on the season, helping the 5th-ranked team improve their undefeated record. The team will travel to Ramapo College on Saturday.
That's all we have for this episode on All Access. For Ayala Gideon, Kayla Santiago, and Derek Hill, I'm Rebecca Solzbach. We'll see you next time on All Access.